Good afternoon. Welcome back to Singaraja Bali Snippets 15-minute city tours, and I'm Bruce Pullman, and this is my no-name channel. And today we are going to go on just one street, and we're going to start over here. This is the corner of Jalan Ayani and Jalan Dewi Sartika, and we're going to start at the hotel here, and then we are going to walk down Jalan Dewi Sartika. And what do we have here? We have Clandy's Grossier, Singaraja. And this is what my granddaughter, when she was younger, used to call the big store. And we don't go there very often because it's really hot. And it takes a long time. But anyway, we're going to walk down here, down Jalan Dewi Sartika. And this is an interesting street, one of my favorite streets, and I'll talk about that more as we get there. We're going to pass Warung Makan Idola and the Mi restaurant. The Mi restaurant is very popular. It's called Cobra now. It used to be called something else. And I've never eaten there. I'm not a big Mi fan. And we're going to continue on and go down to the Textile Shop here. You can get original textiles. I've never been in there. And continue down, and we're going to pass the church. There it is. And this is there aren't that many churches in Singaraja. This is one of two that is close to my house, and there's another littler one that I will show you in a different video, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And then we're going to continue here, and here's Toko Batra. Toko Batra used to be one of the biggest kind of all-purpose stores, like a kind of like a 5 and 10 in the old days in America. And I was on Jalan Diponegoro, and they closed that, and they moved down here. And well, it's really tiny. I don't really shop there anymore. And we're going to go past. We're going to go past Jalan Kakatua, and I'll talk about that because Jalan Kakatua. I like Jalan Kakatua, and you can use that Jalan Kakatua to get to the hospital, which is somewhere down here. There it is. Okay, Kertu Sada. And I'll talk about why I don't take this road anymore. But maybe I'll try that just because, well, it's an important place, and so we should be there. And so we're going to get there. We're going to pass Jalan Merpati, and we get to the Indomaret store. And the Indomaret store is the go-to store for my granddaughter and me. It's where we've been shopping since she was a baby. They've changed staff now, so there's nobody there that remembers her from when they were little. And it's all guys for some reason now. It used to be all women. Now it's all guys. And so we're going to get here, and we're going to end up here today. The street actually goes down here just a little more, and I'm going to pick that up on another video when I talk about Jalan Merak and over to Jalan Patimura. And I have video of that, but it's not very good. For some reason, the video that I do over here does not work out real well. So we're gonna stop at Indomaret today, and this is a road that leads down to the beach road. Well, I call it beach road, and it's interesting because you have you've got a masjid, big mosque there, but you also have well, it's not there. There's a big temple here in the corner, a big Hindu temple, and that's going to be another video. That's a video that I've taken 3 times, and each time it comes out really terrible. So we're going to deal with this whole area over here, down over to my house, in another time. And so that's what we're going to do for today. And let's get started. Before we get started on our trip down Jalan Dewi Sartika, we're at the market, and I just wanted to give you a look at, this is Jalan Sawo, give you a look at what the market looks like now in the new normal. It's packed, and it's a madhouse. And you'll see up over in the right-hand side of the screen, and I'm going to get it centered in just a minute, you'll see this new gate that people are supposed to go through. It's right in the center of the screen behind those umbrellas. And you get checked. You have to wear your mask or you're not going to get in. And you see this is an exit sign there, right? No entrance and exit. And there's a guy waiting, and there he goes, and he gets in. And this I added because, well, I might forget it. This is one of the old style houses. Things were like this in the colonial period. This one has been refurbished, remodeled, but it's set back from the street and down below the street. That's how those things were done. And here we are over at the Gerudo Hotel, and across the street is what I said before, the supermarket Clandy's. And when we go down Jalan Dewi Sartika, we always take this path along the hotel. This hotel went through a major renovation about 5 years ago, and it looks pretty nice. I've never seen a foreigner here. Domestic folks, people coming in to see relatives, business travelers, and I asked Zoe, "Where's your mask?" She said, "I lost it." "How did you lose it?" "I don't know." Grandchildren. So, you see the bamboo here on the side. My wife was planning on planting some in our house, but I don't know what's happened to that project. It's kind of gotten lost. And over here on the right, there's a place you can ship goods if you want to by bus to Surabaya. And so we're going to come out onto Jalan Dewi Sartika here. And why is Jalan Dewi Sartika interesting? Well, it's one of those old-style colonial streets. You see lanes going south, lanes going north, 2 lanes in each. Nice, beautiful center divider. I really love this street. And it's an important street because this is where the big trucks that are traveling from Java and on eastward, they have to come down here. They can't go down the center of, through the center of town. And so they come down here, and you get these enormous trucks overladen with goods. And they're going to go down to Jalan Merah, and they take Jalan Merah, which is a much narrower street, down to Jalan Patimura, which is even narrower. And I'm going to show you that in a future video. There's a gang. A gang is a little kind of side street. And so we're going down here. You see how nice and green this is. Over there on the left was a building that got started years ago and just stopped. I have no idea what it is, why people, who was building it, why they were building it. But despite the traffic on this street, there's a relatively large amount of traffic. It's very quiet. I've always wanted to have a house here, but never happened. Schools across the street, kindergarten school, and this is on the right. We're coming up to the noodle restaurant that I told you about when we were looking at the maps. When this was built, it was packed when it opened, just packed. Singaraja is still this small town, despite having about 100,000 residents. People get excited about these little things that happen here. It's one of the reasons I love living in the city. Yeah, it's a beautiful street. This is on this part of the street. This is Jalan Dewi Sartika North. On the south part of the street, there's a lot of government buildings, and I'll get to that street in a future video. Zoe doesn't really like walking there because it's a longer walk. When she was young and I was pushing her in her stroller, she didn't mind. But now that she's walking herself, well, she's not that crazy about it. This is an empty place. The bank owns it, and well, you see, it's got quite a bit of space. And this is a place. Wow, if I had the money, I would buy this place in a heartbeat, and just keep the old style house. Do little renovations in the garage. There's a garage, and do some work on the yard. So a lot of trucks here. Excuse me. Of course, motorbikes everywhere in Bali, and so there's residences here. Quite a few residences, some buildings as well, some business buildings, but yeah, not that many. Here and there, residences here and there. The use of this street is kind of scattered, and we're coming up here on the cloth shop that I told you about, the fabric shop, right there. We just passed the sign, and we're coming up on, this empty lot used to be a beautiful old house. Well, it was run down, but a colonial era house, and they tore it down. I'm not sure what they're going to build here. They've stopped working since the coronavirus. The workers were all Japanese. They've gone home, and so nothing's happening here. I imagine it's going to be some kind of a business. And in these projects like this, the workers live on site. If you're not from Indonesia, you might not be used to that, but they kind of put up a tent. They had a tent, some cooking stuff. There were a couple of bathrooms in the back that they had built. And so that's how construction works here. The big construction projects, usually lots of Javanese workers. And when we were in Sumbawa, we did the same. We had a lot of workers from Lombok. Also some locals, but a lot of people from Lombok. Why? It's just hard to get local guys to do construction. This is a notary, and notaries are important in Indonesia. You need a notary to do a lot of different things, land and houses. And here's the church I was telling you about. One of the few churches in the neighborhood. It's full on Sunday, a lot of cars out here, a lot of nice cars. So the congregation has some money, it seems. And you see this truck coming up here. The guy comes by and they water the plants. Sometimes, usually a couple of guys. Today, it's the driver holding a hose while he's watering. I love this place. Indonesia's great. Drive and water at the same time. And we're coming up on Toko Batra, and I told you about that in the map section here. This used to be a really big store. I bought my first set of weights and a lot of other household kind of goods and paper and staples and all that kind of stuff. And here is I'm not sure what this is. It's like a phone shop. There's an optical shop. It's strange. I never really see a lot of people working here, just kind of hanging around. And we're coming up in Jalan Kakatua here, and what I said about Jalan Kakatua is it leads to the big hospital around here, Kertawasada, where I've been hospitalized a number of times. And I like the street, but there's a lot of dogs that are loose there, and some of them are very aggressive, so we've kind of stopped going down there, unfortunately. You see, it's really a quiet street. I like it. I miss walking down that street. There's a couple of lovely houses. I'll do that in a future video, though. We'll take a chance with the dogs. And then here, we have a kind of a junk yard coming up. It's a business that I guess it's recycling. There's always big trucks here carrying all sorts of trash. Looks like it's recycling. It's got all sorts of different kinds of recycling stuff. There's a recycling kind of business on Jalan Patimura that does just plastic bottles. this tends to have everything here. Kind of an eyesore, but it's a business. And so that's it. We're at Indomaret, and that's going to be it for today. Thanks for viewing, and take care, and come back for the next one. Be safe.